All right, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. This week we're going to be recapping the Lions Thanksgiving Day loss to the Green Bay Packers, 29-22. I apologize about the delay on the episode. BK over here is having some trouble with the flu, and we just couldn't make it happen last week.
But he's back, baby.
I'm back, and it's good to see y'all. But let's dive into this one a little bit here, Speaks. You were at it. Let me know what was going on over there.
Dismal performance, man. From the very first snap of the game, it was not good. Love's, 40-yard plus pass. It felt like everyone in the stadium felt this too. It felt like it was in the air for 20 seconds or so, and everyone in the stadium, including myself, thought this baby's going to be picked off. Where's Kirby Joseph, baby? Where's the ball hawk? Nope. Completed. All the air was sucked out of the stadium, and it was downhill from there, man.
Yeah, sure was. I mean, it was right out of the gates. It was a punch in the face, and it felt like we never got back on track in order to even make that game competitive. It felt like we got beat up the entire day.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't competitive from that very first snap till the end of the game. I mean, yeah, we only lost by 7 points, but the whole time we were trying to fight and claw our way back into the game. And you know what didn't help is the goddamn turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have them. I mean, in the end, it ended up killing the Lions. Lions continue to lose on Thanksgiving. It's like a curse for us at this point. Hopefully next year we can finally get the win, but I mean, you're right when we're talking about the turnovers. They were the difference here.
Oh, a big difference. Can we get some ball security with Goff? My gosh, man. All we do is need you to be a game manager. Just make the proper plays, and then you're trying to be a running back, a Cam Newton out there. Protect the damn football.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you're on the run, Goff, you're not running by guys. It's not your game. Tuck the ball away, get down. We need him to be the game manager like you're talking about. I mean, as long as he lets the running game and the weapons on the outside do the work, we're going to be in good shape offensively. But if he's trying to make these plays and doing too much, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we're going to be in trouble because that's not the quarterback he is, and that's not the type of team we have. Maybe someday down the line when we get a more mobile quarterback, we can try those things. But right now, we have Goff, and we got to stick to what we're good at. And that's, making the quick, easy decisions, getting it to our running backs, ground and pound. And it's hard to do the ground and pound game when you're constantly turning the ball over and fighting and clawing from behind.
Yeah, putting the defense in a tough spot to succeed.
Yeah.
Speaking of defense, Rashawn Gary was for Green Bay, was an absolute nightmare for us to deal with. 3 sacks, the guy was just blowing by our tackles the entire day.
Yeah, I mean, I loved seeing him do that at the University of Michigan, but not on the opposing side against our rival of Green Bay, man. What a hell of a day for Rashawn Gary. I give him all the props in the world, but we didn't have an answer for him.
No, and it was surprising when we're talking about our tackles. Sewell had trouble with him. Decker had trouble with him. I mean, it was just a nightmare for us to deal with, and it put Goff into some difficult situations where he turned over the ball, which we can't have.
No, I mean, that's the first time I've seen Sewell struggle all year. It was not good all the way around. And like you said, when Goff gets pressured, that's when the mistakes start happening, and that was very evident on Thursday on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, with him being a pocket passer, man, you have to make sure that he is getting a clean throwing lane. He's going to do his thing. I mean, we know what his arm looks like, but he's just got to set his feet and be able to step into them. And if we can't protect him better, we're going to continue to struggle here offensively. I mean, we're getting the production that we need out of the running attack.
Yeah.
Montgomery and Gibbs have been pretty solid.
They have been.
They didn't have a chance to really blow out in this game with how Green Bay was leading the entire time. But we got to rely on those backs to be the premier playmakers in our offense. It's not Goff's job to do that. Just, take care of the ball.
Yeah, and, our special teams didn't help at all. They go down and score on their first possession. We come back, have a great first possession, go down and score, but Can Riley Patterson make the easy extra point with his Jesus piece out? Nope, he missed it. And, in pre-games, he was nailing the post. I told my dad, I was like, man, he sure is rattling the posts quite a bit. What do you know? He misses his first extra point. That killed our momentum there, man, after their big play. And then it was just a trickle-down effect from there.
Yeah, it sucked the air out of the stadium.
It did. No, I was there. It sucked. It sucked. I bring my dad to one game, go down there. Freaking out. We walked by a strip club. I said, I don't even want to go. I'm not in the mood. Who's not in the mood to see tits and ass? My God. God damn you Lions.
I'll tell you, that loss to the Packers, it makes it difficult to have some fun afterwards. I'll promise you that.
It was, man. I hate losing to the Packers, I think, more than any other team in the NFL. My buddy Phil, who's a huge Packers fan, I get a text. My dad's like, has Phil texted you? Has Phil texted you? No. I wake up in the morning around 6 a.m., speaks revenge is better served cold. You fucking asshole, Phil.
Yeah, he had a little bit a right to say it, though, with the way we got beat down. I mean, in the end, Jordan Love looked like a veteran. I don't want to say it, but like that was Roger-ish. Like he was playing.
I mean, have you seen
real well
his
with
stats,
his throws?
His stats compared to Rodgers,
very similar.
Very similar through the first X amount of games through the season. That
no, I'm not saying I'm a Love believer yet.
No,
but he's streaky and he's feeling it right now.
Well, I even mentioned going into this game, he was heating up the 3 games leading into this one. I knew it was going to be a battle, but I didn't think we would just not even show up. I mean, I'm not even talking just the team. I'm talking the events coordination. What was up with the halftime show? It looked like a 5-year-old play. But I was there. You couldn't even hear Jack Harrow fucking sing a lyric. And then on TV, everyone's bitching. Dolly Parton. She had Jerry Jones. He knows what he's doing. He gives them a big stage. We got fucking plastic on the ground. It was just a dismal performance by the whole Detroit Lions organization from top to bottom.
I think the NFL might have had something to say about, the performing act, but it was pathetic. In comparison to the other games, the type of halftime shows that they got to experience. You're right with the Dolly Parton thing. I mean, this thing was pathetic. It was like it had a budget of $1,500. He was just standing on a stage basically singing. Props to Jack Harlow. I like the guy, but that was real bad.
He has the minion behind him. I don't know who that guy is. No one still knows who it is. You got Dolly Parton, a 7-year-old, looking like a 40-year-old. You got Jack Harlow all bundled up and God knows what with plastic on the ground, fake igloos. It was just brutal, man. Everyone there was boom. It was bad.
Speaking of brutal, the Lions secondary.
Oh my God. Yeah, the ball being up in the air for 20 seconds at a time, not picking it off. Where are you, Kirby? Jerry Jacobs, my goodness, my gracious, that dude's struggling. Supposed to be a rotational guy with injuries. He's still in there, but my God, dude,
tough couple of weeks for Jerry.
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, and we got to figure it out, man. We got to figure it out.
I know we got the injuries in it. We're supposed to have a pretty deep group this year, and we are struggling to stop the pass right now. A main reason for it, though, is the pass rush is not there.
Non-existent, BK.
Hutch was dominant early in the year.
Yeah.
He was getting singles, where he was matching up just one-on-one with the tackle. He's been getting chipped. They've been double-teaming him with the offensive tackle and the guard there. The other side is not holding up their end of the bargain.
No, the other side's not doing anything for him. Hutch doesn't have a chance on his side with the doubles he's getting. He's facing everyone's best every single Sunday, Thursday, whatever game we're playing. He's getting everyone's best, and when no one's contributing on the other side of the line, it makes his job 100 times harder. Yeah, McNeil was playing pretty good there for a while, but it's a bunch of inconsistencies. They have a good game. They have a good couple stretches of games, but nothing's long-lasting, and we need that in the worst of ways.
Yeah, consistency, man. It has been just relentless here the last couple of weeks. It looks like a completely different Lions team than we saw early on in the year. They got to get refocused, man, or else we could be running into some problems here. I mean, the turnovers in general in this game ended up costing the Lions the game.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't lose by much, but we lose by 7 points. I mean, and with the turnovers and the possession, the time of possession, I mean, we were right there with as bad as we played and the display of the whole day. We were right there to win the game. And then at the end of the game, we decide to throw a 50-50 ball to Laporta in the back of the end zone. Still don't agree with that play, but we got to get it together. We got to figure this shit out. We are way better than what we showcased on Thursday, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're still leading the NFC North. We've still got that lead, but man, they got to start figuring this out. Or else we're going to be limping into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to get to, check off that box, but I don't think fans will be satisfied with just checking off the box. We want that win. We want to move forward. We want to be contenders here. And unless they start figuring it out on the defensive side of the ball, especially right now, we're not going to be there.
No, and I sure as hell won't be satisfied with just checking off a box. I want a first-round bye, and I want a home playoff game, and I want a home win playoff game. And if we're playing like we played against the Packers on Thanksgiving, we aren't getting that.
No, and especially how it's looking in the NFC. I mean, we're tied right now with San Francisco record-wise. Philly's up a game on them. I think Philly's got a pretty hard schedule going forward here.
Yeah.
But we'd have to get the 1 seed to get that bye. And I'm not sure we'll be able to do that with the way San Francisco's playing. San Francisco looks like they're the best team in the NFC, and we're not playing at that level right now.
No, we're definitely not playing at that level right now. We got a lot of regrouping, retooling, and refiguring out to do. I do think, MCDC will get it figured out with his boys. Now, if Aaron Glenn could get on that same page, that'd be nice, because right now his defense has been just dismal. It's not there. It's non-existent. I mean, I don't care if you're talking from the pressure to the secondary. It's just, let's get it together, please. I understand injuries are a factor, but next man up mentality, man.
Yeah, I mean, the pass rush, the secondary, these are the areas where they really need to start figuring it out.
Yep.
It hasn't been there the last couple of weeks. People are questioning Aaron Glenn's play calling.
Yeah.
And for good reason. I mean, I like Aaron Glenn, but he's struggled here the last couple of weeks. Hopefully he gets the guys refocused. But, I mean, even with that, I've been praising Goff all this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
And I've been saying, hey, it's time to get him the extension. It's time to seal him up.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah. And I mean, the last couple of weeks had me thinking, it's like, I like him. I think he's a very good quarterback. But am I willing to pay him that top dollar if he's going to be turning over the ball like this? We have to make sure he's managing the game. And that's where he's going to succeed. And that's where he will get this contract extension, possibly long-term. If not, I could see it as a franchise tag situation and as a bridge for the Lions to get to maybe Hendon Hooker, the rookie they drafted last year.
Yeah, I mean, Goff played like hot garbage in this game. I mean, he wasn't even on target with any of his throws, felt a little pressure. He just wasn't himself. It was a bad performance all the way around. His turnovers, I could go on forever, man. Goff just didn't have a good day at the office. Hopefully he retools, regroups, but I agree with you. I think a franchise tag is necessary with him until, our quarterback of the future is ready to go. I think all of us know that Goff is a good quarterback, and he's a great guy for Hooker to learn behind, and Goff's going to take us as far as we can go this year. But if we're talking about, getting to the ultimate goal, I don't think he is the answer long term, especially with this play lately, the ball security, the bad throws. You scratch your head wondering, what the fuck are you thinking about the throws, man?
That's night and day from what we saw earlier in the year.
Yeah, and to end last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think a franchise tag would be well-deserved for him. I don't think he deserves a contract extension. I think
he already got paid, too.
He got paid.
That's an interesting factor here.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd like to keep him around, to teach Hooker, because I think Hooker has the arm. With Jameis's speed, it just seems like, Jameson, we're not giving him the touches he needs. And when we do, the ball's short. We got to figure shit out, man.
Yeah, they got to clean it up. and they have to start, refocusing, getting back to the way they were playing early on in the year, or else we're not going to be there to win that playoff game like all the fan base is hoping for. But I mean, in the end, it's going to be game by game basis here, man.
Yeah.
And this next week, which unfortunately we don't have predictions for based off of the illness.
Yeah.
But next week, you go into the Superdome.
Hard environment to play at. One of the hardest.
One of the hardest in the league.
Yep.
And you take on the Saints, who are fighting for a division playoff spot down there in the NFC South. They got to stay focused and try to get back on track here.
Yeah, playing one of our, former teammates, Jamal Williams. That'll be fun for him to see his, former players down there in, New Orleans. And, I think we're up for the task. I don't think New Orleans is the powerhouse it used to be. I think Carr, I've always not been a huge Carr guy. He's obviously no Breeze. They got the Honey Badger. He had 2 interceptions last week. Kamara. They still had players. Tyson Hill, the jackknife. I mean, they have guys. But I do think we're up for the challenge, and I think we'll get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, you say the Saints aren't good, but the Saints are always kind of good.
Well, they're always kind of good at home.
And the home field advantage is real there. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough test. But with that being said, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sports Flow with BK and Speaks, and we'll get you on the next one with New Orleans. Have a good one.